Welcome to the Catalunya Grand Prix. It's me again here on my own. Sleepwalker should be joining us when he wakes up, if he wakes up. Uh, he had a big day yesterday with the TT, so he may be a bit late. Lads are just on their warm up lap now. They're just taking to the grid. Love to know in your comments below who you think is going to win the race before a wheel is turned. Is it going to be Espargaro, Pecco, or is it going to be Quartararo? They're underway off down to the front row. Great start from Espargaro. It is brilliant launch as well from Quartararo on Yamaha. Really sticking with Pecco. Fabio is up the inside of them all. Quartararo! Whoa! Quartararo's down. Rins and Pecco's out in turn one. He was hit. Rins is also down. Looks maybe like Nakagami, is it? Yeah, Nakagami as well also took him out. We will wait to see a replay to see what happened there. So, Rins does look hurt, but Pecco is fine. Jorge Martin is third. Johan Zarco fourth. Seguro pole fifth. Marini sixth. Mir seventh. Mir had a great start. Vinales in eighth. Gigi Antonio ninth. Bastianini 10th. So wait just to see what happened. No points for Rins in four races. Quartararo is out front, and he's pulling a little half a second gap. This is all going to be just looking at the replay again, coming into turn one. Yeah. Okay, so Nakagami lost the front, took Rins, and Rins took just clipped the back echo and took him down. So just a racing incident there. But Quartararo, let's see how he does in the straight against the Aprilia. And yeah, he's able to maintain the gap, which is good for him on it. So Johan Mir though is definitely on the move. Bradl is out as well. Bradl's crashed in turn 10. It's a quick crash. And yeah, so it's a battle between three realistically: Quartararo, Espargaro, and Martin. Zarco's about a second behind Martin. Be interesting to see now, can Martin hold the pace, especially with the issues on his wrist that he's been having. He is due to go off for an operation on Monday, and he's going to miss the test that's there on Monday to go for the operation on his wrist to try and sort some of the issues. However, he has said that during the week or over the weekend and last week, they found something with Olin's that's really helping him with the front of the bike. So it's definitely, he does look very, very, very threatening to Aleix Espargaro right now. It does look like he's actually going to nip past him probably on the next straight. He is right with him. So it's really interesting to see where he is. And Quartararo is just checking out at the front. Looks like he's going to check out, to be honest. With Aleix and Jorge Martin battling, they're just holding themselves up. Mir does look threatening to Paul Espargaro. Nearly tried to come out there, tried to get him on the straight, but was not lucky enough. Oh, he did. He actually got them, but it wasn't at the end of the straight. Pecco Bagnaia has rejoined the race, but he's a couple of lap downs at this stage, I would say. So Zarco is Johan Mir's next target. There's a big gap. Marini just got past Johan Mir, and Marini's just past Pol Espargaro down into the hairpin. It's just solid pass. Maverick is in 8th place, looking threatening. Yeah, Bagnaia has called it a day. He's retired. Yeah, look, it's only going to waste engine and mileage. It was only a slight clip that that Quadraro got some start, but like, oh my God! It was actually Nakagami's face hit the rear tire of Pecco, and that's what brought him down. And then Rins got wiped out by Nakagami's bike that was spinning off. It was I genuinely hope Nakagami's all right after that one. That was a horrible, horrible crash. Um, Alicia Sparrow has ran on or something. So he's dropped a bit there now. Gigi nearly had an incident as well. Mir and Marini are battling away. Bisecchi and Darren Binder are battling away as well. Gigi Antonio. Marini is just taken ahead of Johan Mir. It's 1.5 seconds now between Quadraro and Johan Mir. It's going to be interesting to see now. Can Jorge Martin actually pull him back in? Sorry, not Johan Mir. Yeah, good battle between Marini and Mir. They're swapping positions all the time, but they're only holding each other up. They're not going to catch Darko if they're playing those games. The gap is extending out the front. Quadraro is pulling away by about 10th second of the lap, so he's in his rhythm now. He's in his cruise mode. Going to be very hard to beat him. Miller as well is surprisingly down in 17th, battling. Alex Marquez has come up through the grid. Actually, he was started last, 25th. He's in 16th place. So it's not a bad showing. And Oliveira are going to go off each other as well, and it's good to see. Jorge Martin has closed the gap down slightly on Quadraro. Rins looks that he's injured his wrist again. Nakagami just loses the front of the bike, headbutts Pecco's bike. Then, wow, what a crash! Definitely, yeah. Ooh. Rin's got some bang there in that. Yeah. So the gap has gone back out again between Jorge Martin and Alicia Swagger and Quadraro. And the gap is maintaining between Martin and Espargaro. So yeah, Marquez and Remy Gardner have a fight. Bisecchi has crashed out as well. Crashed again into that small little tricky hairpin. Yeah, just lost the front straight into the gravel. No, not a big crash, but just obviously it's the end of his day. Aleix and Martin now are battling away. The gap between Quadraro and Martin has gone out to almost 2 seconds now, so it's definitely checked out for the race. Saying that, there was a rider 2.5 seconds ahead in Moto 3 today, crashed in turn 5, while cruising. So for Quadraro's sake, let's hope he doesn't do that. It's going to be interesting to see the battle between Mir and Zarco. I wonder, can they have a go off each other? Luca Marini and Mir are battling, so it might not help. Might not get across. Johan Zarco could be a danger man as well. He's the only one in top 8 that is on a hard rear. Majority of the rest of them are on a medium rear, and Alice is on a soft rear. So might be interesting to see. Towards the end of the race, will Zarco pick up the pace and be able to close the gap? Martinez fast through the first sector. The lead now from the lead is out from Quadraro to Martin to 2.2 seconds, so stretching it ever so slightly. But the battle between Martin and Aleix Espargaro is unbelievable, just 2/10 of a second. But obviously the Ducati is very fast down the straight. The Aprilia is struggling to stick with it. Bastianini versus Vinales. Vinales should have extra punch out of the corners, especially in the opening laps with the soft tire. Not sure he's going to do it, but it's a better showing from Vinales today. Running in the 8th place. Will that soft tire hold on? The track temperature is over 50 degrees. Not sure it's going to hold on for the full race, my honest opinion. Binder and Oliveira actually on the hard front tire, medium rear. That could be an interesting one towards the end as well. We know this track, there's not a lot of grip, the heat, so it's going to be very, very tough on the tires, especially because they're leant over on their side for a lot of the lap on power sapping corners as well. So it is a nightmare for the tires to last. But yeah, Maverick is stuck behind Bastianini. I think he's going to use an awful lot of his tire to try and get past him. And if he does pass, that's going to be game over. Mir has stretched it slightly, half a second between himself and Marini. Looks a lot better actually than I've seen him in the past few weeks. He does have a problem stopping that Suzuki, and you could see it in Friday and Saturday practice sessions. He was just running deep into turn 1, and you could see the bike was trying to pivot around the headstock, which is probably not a comfortable thing to happen. The battle between Jorge Martin and Aleix is immense. He has to, in my view, watch what he's doing now. Aleix, he needs to step far enough so that the fair overheat, but be close enough that if Martin should make a mistake, he's close enough to pounce. Now it's incredible showing. Bastianini's down again. He's crashed out again. Turn 5. That's an off camber left hand bend is down. So off cambers, turn down, you just get in. I just lost it just even before he got to the apex of the corner. If you're ever going to the Catalunya circuit, turn 5 is actually a great spot to watch because you see turn 1, turn 2 out the back of turn 3, and then you see turn 4 and turn 5. You see them coming down straight, so it's quite a good place to spectate from if you're ever going to the circuit. And again, Jorge Martin and Aleix Espargaro are doing a ding dong battle, but all the time they're doing it, they're losing time to Quadraro, who's 2.7 seconds ahead now. Di Antonio has crashed as well. So yeah, it's a pretty big one there. Turn 10. It's quite a fast one there for Gigi Antonio. Now he's rolled through the gravel. He's absolutely fine, but it's okay. He's up and walking around. He'll feel it in the morning, I'm sure. Mir is pulling slightly away from from Marini now. It's amazing, half a second. And they're closing in. He's closing in slightly on Zarco. Zarco, all right, is going quite quickly in sector 1. But he's losing a bit on sector 3. So, but I think Zarco could be a danger man with that hard rear tire towards the end. I don't think he's going to catch. I don't think he's going to catch Quadraro. He's 4.3 seconds ahead. And I think, in polite ways now, with Quadraro being 3 seconds ahead of Martin and Espargaro, he's at the arm out the window. Aleix Espargaro has just passed Martin down the end of the straight, just on a simple outbraking maneuver. Yeah, he has him nice and comfortably. Does he have him? He has 3 seconds if he wants to go. He wants to win his home Grand Prix. He needs to vamoose and get going. Quadraro will be, if it stays the way it is, Quadraro will be 15 points ahead of Espargaro, 53 points ahead of Bastianini, and 59 points ahead of Zarco. So it's not a great day for Ducati. Pecco out, Bezzecchi out, Bastianini out, Gigi Antonio out. So the only remaining ones are Martin, Zarco, Marini, and Miller, who is having a pig of a day in 13th place. Probably would have been down in 17th place without some of those crashes. So it's doing that. Vinales is still stuck behind Marini. He's in 7th place now. Pecco going out the Bastianini going out. But again, he's no man's land now. He's 1.3 seconds behind Marini. Hopefully he can keep that pace. Binder's 2 seconds behind him, and Oliveira, but they're holding themselves up, it looks like. So will be interesting to see, but they're on the hard front tires, the 2 KTMs. Be interesting to see what happens towards the end of the race. Maverick is on a soft tire. Space. Bezzecchi crashed in the hairpin. Bastianini crashed in turn 5. They both lost the front, Bezzecchi and Bastianini. And Pecco, at the start of the race, Nakagami missed his braking, lost the front, face planted himself into Pecco's rear tire, and his bike then collided with Rins, and Rins had a fairly drastic fall, to be honest. I'd say he is going to be sore, and Nakagami is going to be sore tomorrow, but I think Bagnaia is going to be a little bit depressed with another 25 points taken away from him. Aleix Espargaro is closing that gap down. It's 3.6 seconds now, 3.5. Martin is staying with it at half a second behind him, and Zarco has closed that gap to Martin. So, as I mentioned, Zarco could be the danger man here. That hard rear tire, he could come to his own. He's 4.5 seconds behind Quadraro, fastest in the first sector and lap, only by a couple of thousandths. But he is doing well. Jack Miller is just past Polo Espargaro for 12th. Darren Binder is top rookie in 11th place, which kind of says it all, for Andrea Dovizioso and Franco Morbidelli down in 15th and 16th place, respectively, beaten by a rookie again. I think things need to change there. I'm not sure, do people? No, qualifying doesn't always mean anything, but first and second were on the front row of the grid. So the two people who are on the front row are in trouble. Yeah, Miller, from all intents and purposes, Miller is already signed a 2-year deal with KTM. Just needs to be formally announced. Bastianini, in my belief, is going to the factory team. There is an onboard view. Just looking at it now, shoulder cam from Pecco. I think this is going to be pretty violent. You can see actually Pecco with the shoulder cam launching. Oh, you can see it on board. Oh, yeah. Alex Rins, I'm telling you, he was so lucky that he didn't break his ass bone the way he fell there. Yeah, I reckon Miguel Oliveira is going to go to Grassini. Saw pictures last night of him talking with senior members, and walking into the Grassini truck. So definitely think there's a meeting there. Miller has just overtaken Darren Binder. Jorge Martin and Zarco are together on the track. The gap is remaining the same between Quartararo and Espargaro, so it's definitely arm out the window and cruising for Fabio. Just needs to keep it on the black stuff. Yes, Space. Everyone is okay. I think they're just going to be sore tomorrow. Rins was looking at his wrist when he got back to the pits, so he may have a few issues there, but there's no major issues or life-threatening issues anyway, hopefully. Paulo Espargaro has slipped way back. I'd say his tires are done. He's on a medium hard rear tire. Morbidelli has overtaken him, and Dovizioso is definitely going to overtake him as well. Remy Gardner is putting in a good show compared to his teammate Raul Fernandez. Remy's in 13th. Raul is in 17th. Johan Mir is just a bit stagnant in where he is now. It's a good 5th place for him compared to where he qualified. To be honest, he didn't qualify that well. So it will definitely be interesting. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. There's going to be a big battle for second place, in my view, here between Zarco, Aleix, and Mert. All realistically, they're all second of each other, so can't afford any mistakes. Zarco is the fastest guy out of the three of them, so be interesting to see what happens here. Another good showing from Luca Marini. He definitely must have heard the video that I did about him. Only joking. But yeah, it's consistent now. Kind of top 6 last 2 races, so wasn't just a one-off in Mugello. He's definitely looks like he's getting on with the Ducati GP22. Yeah, I look at the start. I think the only hope today for a Ducati win was either Martin or Bagnaia, and he got taken out straight away. So that kind of spoiled the race, I suppose, because I would like to have seen Pecco versus Bagnaia or versus Quartararo. Gap in front is out to 4.4 seconds, but 0.7 of a second out covered the top 3. Yeah, so sorry there, just get rid of all that spam. So yeah, so it's Martin, Espargaro, Martin, Zarco is going to be the real race. Who do you think out of those 3 are going to win? Put them in the comments. Let's see who do you think is going to is going to take the win. Yeah, it looks a bit weird to say. Morbidelli has pulled the stick out of his arse and started to ride. He's 1.2 seconds behind Binder. Now Remy Gardner has just overtaken Morbidelli, so it'll be interesting. Yeah, Yamaha is going to win, but out of the Espargaro, Martin, and Zarco, what order are they going to finish in? Second, third, or fourth? Who's going to finish in each? Definitely leave them below, and we'll have a look. 9 laps to go. So this is time now where they're really getting to tire management phase. Quartararo now leads nearly by 5 seconds. From Martin. Martin's just gone up the inside of Espargaro. Just at the into turn one, he went a little deep, but he was able to hold the line, black pass into turn 2 and 3. Martin needs to pull the pin here if he wants to get away from Zarco, or from Espargaro, and he's stretching it slightly. He's up to half a second. Zarco hasn't been able to react to that yet. I do think Aleix may be in trouble a little bit with tires. Just doesn't seem to have the drive out of the corners. But saying that, he's only 4/10, that's a sneeze down the straight. Yeah, I agree with you, Diesel. It's good to see Aprilia getting there. But yeah, so 8/10 of a second cover, second to fourth. So as I said, it's only a sneeze, and you've lost your spot. So yeah. So then, so it would be good to see Martin get a result, in my view, especially with the wrist injury. He's going for surgery tomorrow to get rid of. He has some nerve issues within his wrist, so he's skipping tomorrow's test in Catalunya to get that seen to. So, which I don't know is the right thing to know. Testing is so limited nowadays. Missing a full day of testing. Yeah, so front tire of Aleix Espargaro really looks bad towards the front. You can see all the marbles gaining right on the far edge of the tire. So I'm sure going through the long turns there of turn 5, and on the right hand side corners, turn 3. Sorry, it doesn't feel too nice. So Aleix is actually doing a superb job to hold on to that, because I'm sure that's not comfortable. Martin does look very, very strong, I will be honest. He does look comfortable. Zarco is struggling a small bit to stay with him, but he is closing the gap in, especially on the brakes. But definitely Quartararo has checked out, has the shorts on, ready to go to the beach and chill out. But his pace is just unreal. Always in the 140s up to traveling it off then to 141. Amazing, to be honest. It's crazy. I can see him just coming through. 62 degrees lean angle at 80 kilometers an hour in turn 5. Something savage, these guys. Imagine. I did see a picture though of years ago, the difference between Quartararo and Jorge Lorenzo, and like Lorenzo used to lean the bike right over, and that he used to squash him between the curb and and the bike, whereas now Quadraro actually leans off another big bit on the bike, just to keep that down and to increase the turn angle, which is just absolutely incredible to see. Espargaro and Zarco now are really head to head. The gap is out slightly to half a second. Yeah, look, I don't know about Paul Espargaro. You know, like, who do you replace him with? Mir, okay, maybe. Is Paul doing a better job than Alex Marquez? Probably. I think it's a big statement from Honda, the fact that they've given the testing duties of Mark's new frame and swing arm to Nakagami to test rather than giving it. Normally that's a Japanese way of saying, you're not going to be part of our future, so we're not going to give you the new stuff to test, as you might take that with you to wherever you go. Is there a chance he might go to LCR? Possibly. But we'll just have to wait and see. The merry-go-round, I thought there would actually be some announcements this weekend about where the riders are going to go for next year, but it's all been quiet this weekend. Espargaro, it has closed the gap again to Martin within 4 tenths. Johan Zarco is falling back slightly, drawn by 2 tenths, but it's definitely something you want to, or that's going to. It's not over yet. Like, there's 6 laps to go. Second place, in my view, is not yet decided, and it's very hard to see who is going to get there. Zarco does look very, very good through the first sector. He's nearly a tenth up on Espargaro, and just with his teammate. But the lads then pull it back towards section 2 and section 3. And so Quadraro is 13 points. It finishes, or he's a little bit more sorry now. Maybe around 19 points ahead in the championship from Aleix Espargaro. Yeah, Aleix is closing right in now again on Martin down the straight. He wasn't able to get past him at the end of the straight. And again, Zarco is the only person in the 16.9s for Sector 1, so he could. Aleix is trying. He's really pushing. He is in the absolute wheel tracks, sniffing the exhaust fumes of Jorge Martin's bike. So close now, actually, that if anything happens to Martin, he's going to pull Espargaro with him, actually. So it's going to be quite dangerous. But it will be interesting now. 5 to go. Well, 4.5 to go. I think it's definitely going to hot up. Darren Binder is still holding his own. Super race for him. He's in 12th place. Miller's in 11th. Yeah, space exactly. 4 laps to go. And Espargaro has gone past him on the straight now. Espargaro has gone past him. Now, Sean, I think it's time to pull the pin. You have to go for it now. There's no point wasting time now. Hello, and welcome joining. Nice pass by. Yeah. If Espargaro finished second, he's 13 points. But Sean, I think Martin is not going to let that go so easy. Yeah, 3 of them are all together. It's going to be super. It's going to be a grandstand finish. hard to see who's. You just couldn't call it right now because there's no tire. You can see it from them all. There's no tires left. They're just gripping it and ripping it. So ooh, yeah, Bagnoia and or sorry, Alicia Spagaro and Martina, they're really going for it. It's unbelievable to see. They're they're in each other's wheel tracks. It's crazy. As I said, if Alicia Spagaro finishes in this position, is 13 points behind Quadraro. 2 weeks' time, we have the Saxon Ring, and that's midway of the season. So it looks like it would be a brilliant point for him. But looks like Alicia's starting to pull away actually now from Jorge Martin. He's killed him in section 4, which is Alicia's strong spot. And he's amazing into turn 1 there. Binder has broken Oliveira's spirit. I think he's 4 seconds ahead of him. So yeah, and Quadraro is almost 6 seconds out. Aleix has pulled a pin. The gap is out to 7.7 of a second now. Morbidelli has just overtaken Jack Miller. And yeah, it's a big weekend for Yamaha. So not sure if you know, but they've re-signed Monster Energy for another couple of years. So I don't know what this means for Toprak space. No, it looks like Zarco just doesn't have the pace. He's dropped 7/10 of a second behind Martin, so I think looks like he's struggling now for pace. So I think what we were hoping for a grandstand finish is kind of pattered out. They just have lost. They've all lost pace. Aleix Spagaro went past, pulled the pin. 2 to go. They're definitely dropping Zarco. They're just second now behind Jorge Martin. And yeah, Martin is 6.77 of a second behind Spagaro. So it looks like that is kind of settled in there. Yeah, so yeah, and Martina was just falling further back. So it looks like the positions are settled. That it's going to be be finishing. I would think in the order unless someone crashes. So on the Jorge Martin has closed in slightly, but I think it's too little, too late. Coming up to the end of the lap there now. So Morbidelli has overtaken Gardner. Then he is only half a second behind Darren Binder. So maybe, maybe Morbidelli is going to finish 11th. So yeah. So we're on the last lap. Oh, Martin has gone past the Spagaro into turn 1, I believe. Yeah. So I just said it was going to be boring, and MotoGP just bit back at me. So, oh, Spagaro's gone down to 4th. Has he crashed? He has. Aleix Spagaro's crashed out in the last lap. You can see him dropping down. He's a problem. It's not that he's crashed. He has a problem. Something has happened. Either the bike has gone from fuel or something has happened to the bike. He's trying to nurse it. So there we have it again. Oh my God Almighty! Oh, that's embarrassing, lads. He thought the race was over. He thought Aleix Espargaro thought the race was over, but there was still one last lap, and he went down into the thing thinking that it was over, and the lads kept going. Oh my God. That's kind of embarrassing, isn't it? Anyway, he's in a battle now with Luca Marini, so um, it's not the first time we've seen it, but yeah, Fabio Quartararo has won the race. He's crossed the line from Jorge Martin, Johan Zarco, Johan Mir, and Aleix Espargaro has finished fifth. Yeah, I genuinely, lads, don't know what to say to that. That was wow. Wow, that's definitely a new one. So just to give you a rundown: Quadraro, Martin, Zarco, Mir, Espargaro, Marini, Vinales, Binder, Oliveira, Alex Marquez, Remy Gardner, Darren Binder, Franco Morbidelli, go on, Darren Binder, Jack Miller, Raul Fernandez, Michele Pirro, and Paulo Espargaro was finished last. Yeah, terrible for Espargaro. Yeah, he is. You can see him. He is absolutely red faced under the pink helmet. You know, you can see that he's just yeah. Yeah, yeah. If I were you with Marshall, I would just leave him alone. I wouldn't go near him. But yeah, Aprilia team don't know where to look or what to do. It was absolutely crazy. Um, so yeah, so he lost 8 seconds waving to the crowd. At least he was able to get back into action and tweak it up, but and yeah, he's lost 9 world championship points due to that. Yeah, that was a weird one, gents. If I ever saw it in my life, I am sure Sleepwalker, who will watch this later on, will be not knowing what to do, and yeah, Ghost Rider will be. He's a big Alex fan, so we get to mock him later on. If you see him on the comments, by all means do. Lynn Jarvis is a happy man, so yeah, so it's a bit awkward anyway. But yeah, guys, thank you all so much for watching. I will do a review video in the next 10 or 15 minutes, just of the race. But thank you for watching. We will be back again for Sachsenring. If you're an Isle of Man TT fan, I will be streaming the races tomorrow as well, so don't forget to tune in. And yeah, always get involved in the community with as well. There's loads of questions, comments. We're doing this all day, so um, yeah. And look, again, we'll see you back. I'm back again every day with videos, so don't forget to subscribe. And yeah, opinions are always welcomed, and I will see you tomorrow, or if not, for the next race in MotoGP. Until then, ciao for now.